There are several important updates about the Warriors that will significantly impact the rest of the season, as the injury status of a key player has changed considerably ahead of tonight's crucial game against the Grizzlies. In addition, an interesting rumor about the coaching staff is emerging, which will be addressed shortly. Before we continue, it is worth reviewing all the latest news about the Warriors. The fan community has surpassed 10,000 members, providing daily content, news updates, commentary, and analysis. Now, let's dive into this relevant update. Recent information indicates that a key player has been ruled out for tonight's game in Memphis due to a right pelvic injury. Just yesterday, he was listed as questionable, which was confirmed by a post suggesting that he might play. The team clarified that it is a right pelvic injury, not an ankle problem, which occurred after a heavy fall last night. Unfortunately, another player is also out, leaving the remaining available players for this high-pressure game in Memphis. The situation has taken an unexpected turn in the last 24 hours. Remember, in the game against San Antonio, this player took a significant fall. Upon reviewing the footage of that incident, it is clear that he landed directly on his tailbone. Interestingly, during the game, this injury was initially considered an ankle contusion, which raised concerns, especially since he had already missed 31 games due to an ankle issue. This caused confusion when it was referred to as an ankle injury, as the video clearly shows he fell on his tailbone, similar to a previous incident involving a well-known player. This player missed 31 games earlier in the season due to an ankle injury from sprain, which puzzled many when it was called an ankle injury, considering that the video clearly showed he landed on his tailbone, as happened previously. This raised questions about the classification of the injury. As a result, the description was adjusted, and it is now referred to as a pelvic contusion, the same condition another player had before, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty. The matchup in Memphis will be extremely important for the team, given its significant playoff implications. Comments about the confusion surrounding the injury situation are welcome, especially if there are opinions on the team's chances without this player or his importance at this moment. An intriguing statistical analysis will be presented soon, explaining why the team finds itself in a worse position on paper in the absence of this player, and we'll get to that shortly. Also, be on the lookout, as a curious rumor about the coaching staff is circulating and needs clarification. But first, let's examine this player's statistics, as many say the team has been performing better without him. Since his return, this player has averaged 13.1 points, but the difficulties lie in his shooting percentages, especially from three-point range. His role has changed significantly. Before the trade, he was a starter, but now he comes off the bench, trying to fit into a team that is on an impressive winning streak. Many claim he is one of the reasons the team started facing difficulties, losing crucial games and suffering significant defeats, resulting in a performance below expectations. A detailed analysis of what is going on will be presented soon. The team has been facing a series of challenges, suffering notable losses to opponents and a particularly tough defeat that highlighted a somewhat discouraging performance in basketball. I conducted a thorough evaluation to understand the current situation and would like to share some observations. I made a statistical comparison of the games since a key player joined the team, focusing on the performance with and without another player on the court. The data shows that, statistically, the team seems to perform worse when this player is part of the lineup. When analyzing the team statistics, there's a clear drop in performance during games in which he was present. The team's average points range from approximately 11 to 12 points to 6 points per game, with an offensive rating around 117 and a defensive rating near 100. In the 14 games this player was present, but without the other player, the team averaged about 121 points per game, showing a significant improvement in offensive rating. Additionally, the team played a little faster in the absence of this player, recording around 99 possessions per game, compared to 95 when he was on the court, suggesting that his presence is slowing down the team's pace. Furthermore, opponents showed greater shooting efficiency when facing a specific team with this player on the court, with opponents converting about 48% of their shots compared to 46% when he is not present. These metrics highlight these variations, But the main issue is that, in theory, this team tends to perform better in the absence of the mentioned player. This situation is not surprising, given that he is coming back from a serious ankle injury that affected his mobility, and he is still adapting to a team that was performing well before attempting to adjust his participation. Currently, this team faces a dilemma, as the player is absent due to an injury sustained in a crucial matchup against a specific rival. One could say that, despite some indicators, this team appears to be more competitive with him as an option. They may analyze these statistics and decide to limit his time on the court, but having a healthy player will always be more beneficial than playing without him. Something curious seems to be unfolding with this team, and there is much to investigate in this scenario. There is information suggesting that the player is receiving fewer minutes on the court. Regardless of the circumstances, having a healthy player as an option is certainly better than not having him. However, it seems something quite strange is happening with the team. There's a lot of speculation and theory suggesting that the team may be intentionally excluding him for a longer period than necessary due to an injury, possibly to reduce his value in the free agent market, which could make it easier for him to stay during the offseason. Now, it seems there is curious behavior regarding how they are redefining this injury, initially classifying it as an ankle problem when it was clearly a tailbone injury. The narrative has shifted again. He was listed as questionable and now is out. There is an underlying sense that something is not right. Perhaps they are realizing that the team doesn't perform well with him on the court, and it would be more advantageous to keep him rested. Is something unusual happening? Is there any truth to the theory that the team is intentionally holding this player back? I'm not sure, but it's crucial for the team as they approach the next game, which is set to start soon. I'm recording this around 3:30, and the game is scheduled to start at 5 p.m. Pacific time here in San Francisco. The matchup against the opposing team is significant, as the team holds the advantage in the season based on their previous encounters. Looking back at the last 3 games they played, they started the season in November with a win over Memphis, closing the game with a score of 118-123. Then, they suffered a significant loss in Memphis, with a 51-point difference. In early 2025, they managed to bounce back with a win at Chase Center, but now they are back in Memphis for a crucial game, with only 8 games remaining in the season. The opposing team is currently ahead in the standings, but they have been struggling since the departure of their coach. This change in the coaching staff plays an important role in the rumors circulating across various platforms, which I will explore soon. With only 8 games remaining in the season, the opposing team holds an advantage in the standings but has been going through a tough period since their coach's departure. This situation fuels a significant rumor that has been spreading on social media, especially regarding the team's coaching staff. Looking at the situation, it's evident that they are on a decline, having lost 3 consecutive games since the coach's departure, which has cost them important positions. The team is now only half a game behind and could secure the 5th seed for the playoffs with a win tonight, making this game crucial for them. Looking at the current roster, it is evident that they are facing difficulties due to a player still recovering, which reduces the options available from the bench. However, there is still a good amount of talent available. One player who needs to step up is the one who had an admirable performance in the last game, showcasing his ability to play intensely and aggressively on both ends of the floor. Additionally, another player who must continue contributing brings contagious energy to the game. At this point in the season, the trust is more placed on this player than on the one returning, especially regarding contributions from the bench. This player has shown his talent in making precise shots and playing a proactive role on defense, while the other has been inconsistent since his return. It's curious to think about the trust placed in one player over another at this point in the season. Another relevant update almost prompted a separate piece of content. After checking the information, I came across a rumor mentioning the inclusion of an experienced coach in the coaching staff. This information is especially intriguing given the troubled situation surrounding him after his firing, which has been quite tumultuous. Recently, a piece of news circulating on social media about an NBA team drew attention and caused a stir. It was announced that an experienced coach would join the coaching staff immediately after leaving another team where the situation was unfavorable. The news quickly spread on Twitter and other platforms, with many fans praising the decision to bring this professional aboard, especially before a crucial game that night, which could provide a significant advantage. However, the revelation that it was all just a joke surprised many people, including myself. Upon reflecting for a moment, I realized it was unlikely to be true, so I decided to check the authenticity of the information and found that it was indeed a prank. I would love to hear in the comments whether you also believed it or if you think hiring someone with that level of experience would be a good move for the team. In my view, it wouldn't be viable, as this person would certainly not be interested in an assistant position, especially now that he will be in high demand during the offseason. Let's keep an eye on how this develops. But this situation reminded me of today, April 1st. Also, I want to know how you think the team will perform in today's game, which promises to be decisive and have significant ramifications for the playoffs. I'm looking forward to watching it and will provide a full recap once the game ends. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. In a move that has NBA fans buzzing, rumors are swirling about the potential return of Kevin Durant to the Golden State Warriors. After a tumultuous few years with the Brooklyn Nets and now playing for the Phoenix Suns, Durant's possible reunion with the Warriors could change the entire dynamic of the Western Conference. The question on everyone's mind: what does this mean for both Durant's legacy and the future of the Warriors? Durant's tenure with the Warriors from 2016 to 2019 was nothing short of historic. In those 3 years, he helped secure 2 NBA championships and was named Finals MVP twice. His presence elevated the already dominant Warriors, adding another layer of offense and defense. However, after an Achilles injury in 2019 and a brief stint with the Brooklyn Nets, Durant now finds himself as one of the most sought-after players in the league once again. His addition to a Warriors squad already brimming with talent could push them back into championship contention. The Warriors' core of Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green has experienced both triumph and tribulation since Durant's departure. While the team still has the firepower to challenge for titles, the reality of competing against juggernauts like the Denver Nuggets, Los Angeles Lakers, and the Phoenix Suns suggests that adding Durant could solidify their chances of reclaiming the crown. His scoring prowess and basketball IQ would blend seamlessly with Curry's playmaking and Thompson's sharpshooting, reigniting the magic that led to Golden State's dominance in the previous decade. However, the potential move raises several questions. Would Durant be willing to sacrifice some of his individual stardom to fit back into the Warriors system? Could the team afford to make the necessary trade or signing to bring him on board, given the salary cap constraints and the contracts of other high-profile players? There's also the matter of Durant's desire for a fresh challenge. He's already conquered multiple titles, and coming back to the Warriors might feel like retracing old steps. As the NBA trade deadline approaches, all eyes will be on the Golden State Warriors and their decision-making process. If they do manage to pull off a deal for Durant, it would mark the start of a new chapter for one of the most exciting dynasties in basketball history. For Durant, it would be a chance to further cement his legacy in the league, and for the Warriors, an opportunity to return to glory. The question remains, will this reunion become the stuff of legends, or will it remain just another tantalizing what-if in NBA lore? Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.